Hello guys, and welcome to our fourth lecture. We're going to continue with Act 3, العصر. We stopped at scene 2, so we're going to continue with scene 3, page 67. In this scene, we have Claudius and Gertrude together because they are making arrangements for the goodbye ceremony, Hamlet's goodbye ceremony. The arms dealer appears and he shares this moment with them, the arrangements with them. Ophelia is also there, and she is described by Gertrude as half dead. Half dead because she's very pale, لونها شاحب جدا because she's so sick. She tells them that she has been throwing up all night and that she was not feeling well. Okay? All the other characters on stage start to make predictions about the reasons of her sickness and of her trouble, yet she never says a word. We notice that, for example, Polonius says she has been a little under the weather, and she's not feeling well. And the arms dealer says, "Do you have a fever, poor child?" Gertrude says, she is just upset that Hamlet is leaving. And Polonius says, on the contrary, she is upset because she is leaving tomorrow. So everybody is trying to find an explanation for her sickness, but she remains silent and she does not respond at all. فإيه رأيكم في الفكرة دي إن هي واقفة وتعبانة and she is throwing up يعني بترجع بطنها وجعها from worry and everybody is explaining this situation according to their point of view. And what is noticed and what is strange is that she remains silent. She does not say a word. This can be interpreted as A, she is not given a space to express herself, and that her voice is always subdued by other voices. يعني هو دايما صوتها بيبقى مقهور علشان في أصوات تانية أعلى منه بتسمع. إن هي على طول she is oppressed. This is an explanation. إن هي she's not given a space. She is always treated like a little child. She does not have a say about her life and her future. And so they keep talking and analyzing her life. They do not even consult her. ما بياخدوش رأيها أصلا about her own life. This is the first explanation. Or explanation B, she decides just to ignore them and to take herself out of their toxic world. يعني هي قررت إن هي تنأى بنفسها عن حياتهم, to leave them, do the talking, and she lives in her bubble, in her pure world, away from their toxic world. Toxic يعني سامة, بيئة سامة, حياة سامة, حياة غير صحية, حياة ملوثة بالكذب وبالنفاق وبالخداع and so on. These are two interpretations, are possible interpretations. What do you think? This is an important question. What do you think? Do you agree with either of these explanations, or do you have your own interpretation of her silence? Why does she remain silent in this situation? Okay, this is an important question to ask. And I want you to focus, to pay attention to Ophelia and how she is being treated since the beginning of the play. How everybody in the play treat her. Her father Polonius, how does he treat her? Does he treat her like a grown-up, a responsible person, someone who is in control of her own life? This is an important question. Lariats, does he give her a space to choose Hamlet or to accept him or to reject him? Or does he just dictate his orders upon her that she must leave Hamlet forever? Hamlet himself, is he open to her? Does he tell her openly how he feels and why he is confused and whether he's going to continue in this relationship or not? Okay, Gertrude, she is always treating her like a toy. She tries to bribe her. She tries to exploit her innocence. she is using her as a tool to know what Hamlet is up to. ايه الخطط اللي هو بيفكر لها، ايه الخطط المستقبلية بتاعته. ف this is how Ophelia is treated by everybody in the play. And I want you to bear this in mind. تخلي بالنا من النقاط دي كلها and to see how all of these factors are going to transform her character in the end. ازاي هي في الآخر هتتحول بسبب ايه this mistreatment أو المعاملة السيئة from all the characters in the play. Ophelia is a very very important character in this play and I want you to see the transformation in her character. She is a very sophisticated girl, she's well educated, she is always treated in a bad way and I want to see how all these factors will lead to her transformation in the end. Okay, let's take a look on page 67. During the planning for the ceremony, Claudius, Gertrude, and Polonius are arranging everything for the ceremony, and as I said, the arms dealer is with them. Hamlet enters the stage and he is riding a horse made of paper. يعني هو راكب على حصان من الورق الكرتون. He is in a hysterical state. هو في حالة هستيرية and he tells them that he is preparing for war. إن هو بيستعد للوار. Okay? Upon this declaration لما هو بيعلن كده، لما بيعلن إن هو he is preparing for war, the arms dealer interferes بيتدخل and he tells him, I'm quoting from the play here, Is the horse hungry, my lord? هل الحصان بتاعك جائع؟ The arms dealer produces some sugar cubes and he gets some sugar cubes to feed the horse. Hamlet says, sugar cubes, what a noble warrior. أنت مقاتل نبيل عظيم. Please feed the horse of war. This sentence or this scene is very significant and is very important. Significant means important. Why? Because it has a symbolic meaning. Here we have the arms dealer feeding the horse of war. هو الوحيد, he is responsible for feeding the horse of war. Why do you think? ليه? Of course, this means that the arms dealer is the only person who is gaining much profit and much money, and he is accumulating his wealth because of the ongoing wars in the Arab world. الحروب المستمرة في العالم العربي دي بتعني ربح أكتر وفلوس أكتر وأموال أكتر للarms dealer who is a representative of the United States. هو بيمثل اليونايتد ستيتس، فاليونايتد ستيتس هي الكيان الوحيد اللي بيربح because of the ongoing wars in the Arab world. Okay, so this meaning is very important and is very significant. There is a transformation and we move to scene 7. Claudius appears half naked on the stage and he recites a long speech. We see him half naked. He is wearing just his trousers and he is naked from the top and he is opening a briefcase full of dollars, شنطة مليانة dollars, and he says, Oh God, petrodollars, I have no other God than you. This line is very important on page 70. Why? Because it shows very clearly what kind of God Claudius is worshipping. He is worshipping petrodollars. ايه نوع الإله اللي دايما كلوديوس بيعتمد عليه؟ petrodollars, which means the money he gains from selling petrol to the United States and to Europe. Okay, so this is the God Claudius worships. He goes on to say, your loans, القروض بتاعتك, your democratic filth, القذارة المتعلقة بالديمقراطية, إن الديمقراطية دي أصلا هي كذبة كبيرة. هي it is an appearance of democracy, بس الactivities اللي بتتعمل تحت الأمبريلا دي مختلفة تماما عن الديمقراطية. That drips of your ecstatic crowds. الكراودز اللي عمالة دايما بتشيد بالمعاني اللي متعلقة بالديمقراطية وكده. I want them all. Oh God. Ecstatic crowds. Ecstatic يعني في حالة من النشوة، السعادة البالغة. فهو هنا بيعبر عن الشعب الأمريكي إن هم دايما عمالين يتغنوا بالديمقراطية وكده، بس هي it is not a true democracy. I want your loans and I want your democratic filth. الشعارات بس اللي متعلقة بالديمقراطية اللي ملهاش علاقة إيه بالواقع. Okay? فهو هنا Claudius expresses openly that he is after money and just money because money gives him more power and more authority, and he is after democratic filth أو slogans, words, big words, but he doesn't do anything. His deeds doesn't have to do with democracy. ملهاش أي علاقة بالديمقراطية. هو he is a dictator. Okay? يبقى هو عايز فلوس أكتر وعايز شعارات democratic slogans, but in reality his practices are far away from democracy. So these lines show how Claudius is after more wealth, more power, and more personal interests and personal gains. He only worships money which he gains from selling petrol to the West. Okay? السين ده مهم جدا وفي التمثيل كان ليه صدى كويس قوي. On page 72, Hamlet appears again holding his pistol and threatening to kill Claudius. Okay? He gives a long speech about the present conflict and how Claudius is responsible for everything bad that is going on in the country, and he believes that a bullet would settle everything down. رصاصة واحدة هتنهي كل النزاع اللي في البلد. However, do you think he can do it? Do you think that Hamlet will be able to kill Claudius? Of course he can't. He just fails to do this plan. He can't kill his uncle and he simply returns to his desk doing nothing as usual. So now the question, how does this scene or this shot remind you of Shakespeare's Hamlet? Shakespeare's Hamlet, who keeps saying big words, who keeps thinking and thinking about the present situation, but in reality, he can do nothing. He is a futile man. He is a futile man who is incapable of doing anything. He is just talking and he is just thinking, but when it comes to practice, to deeds, real deeds, he is an absolute failure. Okay? So this is the end of Act 3. And we are going to continue in the next lecture, starting with Act 4, inshallah. Thank you so much.